Hey class, I am going to go over in this lesson the interaction of the story elements. At this point, you should already have an understanding of what the story elements are. So plot, setting, character, conflict, theme, okay? Those are elements of a story. They create the story to move along. They are all interacting. Without the setting, you wouldn't have the character's actions somewhere. Without the setting, you might not have a sense of a mood throughout the story. Without the rising action to the climax, you wouldn't have anything moving the story forward. So these story elements are separate, however, they interact. I want you to go to your Ready book right now, and I want you to turn to your page 53, and I'll wait for you. Okay, so again, page 53. When you get to 53, if you want to use the document of the Doc Hub that I have provided, or if you just want to go along in your text and write what I have, that's no problem. You are not submitting this. This is just a teaching video for you to understand what part 1 is saying and you're ready. Okay, as well as just understanding the elements of a story and working with the standard of analyzing how elements of a story interact. All right, so when you get to page 53, I want you to ignore the text and I want you to go to this picture that I'm zooming. It is your picture, okay? I just want you to think, I'm going to move myself. I just want you to think about this illustration, okay? I want you to think about the setting. So you obviously see people in a boat, in a raft. They're actually whitewater rafting. The setting is on a river with rapids. If you've ever been whitewater rafting, you go down rivers and it's pretty fast pace and you paddle along the rocks and the river and the current of the river and you muddle through the water on a raft. You see that they're wearing safety helmets, so you see that there is danger. You see that there are rocks close to the raft. You see that the raft is about to go down a section that goes down in the river and that they're going to have to create and stay stable on their raft. So the setting is important here. I would say so. The setting is creating conflict. When I say conflict, like a problem. They're about to have a problem because they're about to go through this rapid. Even if your experience is a conflict because you're having to struggle within the river and the rocks and the rapid itself. So again, setting as a story element is creating conflict, is creating the plot, is creating probably characterization, because we're going to learn potentially, maybe, how these characters would act after, during, and even before all of this. So think about setting. Setting is way more than just where and when. It is that, but it is creating other things within the whole story. So I just wanted you to think about what is the setting here. Okay, so the setting, it says it's on a river with rocks, white water rapids, and a waterfall. So we just saw all that. Now, the relationship here, and hopefully I'm on my Doc Hub, but if I'm not, oh, I think it's because, yes. So hopefully now I can type over here. It says, what is the relationship between the setting and the story's conflict? We just discussed that. So I'm going to type my answer. You are more than welcome to write yours and see if it is like mine. If not, you can just type or write my answer. So the setting is the cause of the story's conflict. The problem the characters must face and solve is the danger posed by the rocks river, rapids, and the upcoming waterfall. Okay, therefore, the setting and conflict interact. All right. If I want to make this better, I'm not quite sure if I can about moving it. It's okay. So how do you think the characters will resolve this conflict? So you got to think, do you think that they're going to be successful? Do you think that they are going to land fine and make it to shore? Do you think that they're going to fall out of the boat? But when we think about resolving anything, it's more of a, I'm going to make it into a good thing where I don't have anyone left hanging. So I'm usually going to wrap it up in a way that creates goodness if I'm an author. So, however, you can kind of decide what you want. So in my opinion, I'm going to write here. I'm just going to type it. Ooh. Here. I'm going to hit my enter button. They might land on shore. Or anchor themselves to a rock with rope. They might be successful as a group down the rapids and river. Okay. As well as make it over the waterfall. All right, so I'm going to go back up real quick and just kind of read quickly something that you have again on your page 53, and it says analyzing the interactions of story elements, and that's something we just did. But it says a bicycle without wheels, pedals, and brakes wouldn't be complete or possible to ride. Similarly, a story wouldn't be complete or interesting to read without all of its parts working together. These parts are called story elements, which include characterization, setting, plot, and much more. Analyzing a story means figuring out how these elements work together. For example, you can analyze how the setting of a story shapes its plot. We just did that. A story's plot includes a conflict or a problem the characters must respond to and a resolution in which the problem is solved. Okay? So, again, we just went over how setting is a vital role into the plot, how setting is a vital role into the conflict, how setting is a vital role into characterization and the resolution of a plot. It is vastly important, just as much as the characters interacting with one another, just as the plot is moving on up into the climax of the story. So just know, story elements are part of every fictional story that authors write. Every part of a story element is vital and it's important to one another. And now we realize that setting is much more than the where and the when. I hope that this helped. These are for your notes, so you do not need to submit this. Use your book, use this guide as you keep going in parts 2 and 3. Thank you.